Your headset on.
You didn't tell me to put it on.
See there?
It's my fault. All right. Moving right along, we have a special guest who doesn't know what she's gotten herself into, but she's laughing a lot, so it must be all right.
Hey, yeah.
She says,
My kind of girl.
She says, I'll just follow your lead. I said, you might want to be careful about that. We have with us, I always like to have local artists to come and visit with us. Yes. She had called and wanted to know when we were playing her CD, and I said, oh, yes, ma'am, we've included it in our rotation on Sunday mornings. Mm-hmm. And I said, why don't you come be on the mess with us? Okay. So we can tell everybody about you and about your song and your music. So we have with us this morning, all the way from Eudora, Arkansas, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Amber Hayes. Good morning, Amber.
Good morning. How are you?
You got to get close to your microphone so they'll know.
All right.
That's better.
How about this?
That's much. There you go. That's better.
Okay.
And if you're more comfortable holding it, you can do that too. Whatever's comfortable for you. Now,
Just like this.
Amber works for the post office. She's a rural carrier.
Oh, okay.
Mail carrier.
Right.
My uncle my cousin was a rural carrier right up to the day he died for Route 3 in Lake Providence, Louisiana.
Wow.
Yeah, I know. It was pretty neat. But anywho, so you're special anyway. But now you bring people lots of happiness.
Mm-hmm. I'm trying to.
Sometimes it's not happy what you bring them, but most of the time it's happy. Now, except when you bring bills and you can lose those.
I'll get in trouble if I do that. Though.
Yeah,
Well,
probably.
this is true. There is a law against that. Funny about that. Oh, boy. All right, Miss Amber, you are an artist, and you have done a CD. Mm-hmm. Tell us a little bit about how you got into it and how you did your CD. Just kind of give us a background on who is Amber Hayes.
All right. Well, grew up in the church, and just my parents do music and stuff, and so just kind of grew up singing and playing music and all. And when I was about 14 or 15, well, I wrote songs when I was a little girl, but I don't remember any of those. But but I remember I was about 14 or 15, and I really remembered, writing songs and stuff, and, just trying to follow the leading of the Lord as I was growing up, and just started writing songs and stuff, and then singing them at church, singing them with friends and all that. And then just as the years went by, just here recently, like the last 10 years, just kind of going around singing, and somebody would say, oh, I wish I had that song. Do you have a CD? And I'd say, no, I'm just
saying.
I just go around singing and just write whatever, and so just had quite a few people keep asking, well, do you have that on CD? Do you have that on CD? And so we prayed about it and was able to just start up a fund to try and make a CD because it's expensive.
I bet.
And so for about 2 years, it just kind of felt like, nothing was going to happen, and just
kept singing.
Yeah, just kept singing. It just seemed like nothing was happening. And then, all of a sudden, the doors just opened, and, everything just fell into place.
That's how it usually works.
It was, it was so amazing, it blew my mind, just how everything fell into place. And then, so last summer, it took about 3 months to try and get in to the place where I was recording. And we already had the money saved up, and so they're like, oh, we have an opening next month.
How interesting.
So I was like, well, I guess we're recording next month. So we showed up and just kind of did the music, and then they said, well, we have an opening next month for the vocals if you want to come back, instead of waiting another 3 months. So I was like, okay. So went home, practiced for a month, and showed up that day and threw all the vocals down, and so had everything done within 2 months instead of it being 6 to 9 months.
Wow.
So it just kind of fell into place, and so I got my album out in December, and we had a little breakthrough concert, and hit iTunes and Amazon and all that in January. And so they have compilation discs, they send out to all the radio stations.
Some radio stations.
Some radio stations.
We have our own, though. That's okay.
But anyway, so we put this song, I'm Not Going To, on the compilation disc. And, honestly, I was just thinking, well, let's just put it on there. And maybe somebody that is already famous might pick it up and start singing it, and wound up blowing up.
With your beautiful voice.
Well, thank you.
I love this song.
All right, why don't we give
Play a little
everybody?
bit?
Yeah, let's play a little bit and let everybody hear Amber.
Okay.
Don't feel like singing, don't feel like praying, don't feel like raising my hands. I'm just saying, don't feel like reading your word, don't want to hear no encouraging word. I don't feel like worshiping. I'm just telling you the truth. Don't feel like doing anything at all but giving up. But I'm not going to. You're gonna see me through. If it's just me and you, Lord, I'm gonna make it. I'm not gonna quit. You're not done just yet. So I'm gonna sing, shout, praise, dance, raise my hands, 'cause the devil don't want me to. And even though I don't feel like doing anything but giving up, I'm not going to. If I think I'm gonna scream, I'm just gonna scream hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah. When I feel like giving up, I'm not going to, 'cause you're gonna see me through. And if it's just me and you, Lord, I know I'm gonna make it.
Wow. That's amazing.
That is beautiful.
It just makes me want to
I mean,
cry.
it just draws you in.
It does. And
I know.
I'm sitting here thinking of all these people out there that are going through some really rough times and stuff right now. Mm-hmm. And you hear a song like that, and you're being honest. I'm not going to do this. I don't want to. I don't feel like it. And then you continue, and you say, I'm not going to.
Because he doesn't give up on us. Is that right, Amber?
No, that's right. He doesn't give up on us.
Right. That's right. And I wrote this about 2 years ago, and I'm a pretty happy, peppy person. Just
Seems
always kind of have a song in my heart, and I just hit a spot. I wasn't like backsliding and giving up on God, but I was just tired. Mentally, physically, spiritually, emotionally. I was just drained, and I remember where I was, what box I was at on my route, when I realized that I hadn't sang in days, and I had just been crying.
Oh.
We put a face on in front of people.
Uh-huh.
But we're not that way on the inside. We want to be like the lady in the Bible that says it's well with my soul, but it's not really well.
Right.
And so you try and always say, oh, well, I'm going to make it through it. You try and be all, positive. But there's a lot of people that's hurting out there. Mm-hmm. And so I remembered where I was, and I just started talking to the Lord, and I just said, Lord, I don't feel like singing. I just was down and wasn't, I don't guess, depressed, I'd say, but
Close.
it was just, I was down, and I just cried. And, when nobody was looking, I was crying at my case, crying myself to sleep, wake up crying, cooking dinner crying. When nobody was looking, I was crying. And, then you put your face on in front of everybody else. And I was just really down, and I just said, I just don't feel like singing, and I don't feel like praying, and I don't feel like somebody saying, well, it's going to be okay. I didn't feel like listening to any of that. And then I remembered David had to encourage himself in the Lord. So I just started pep talking myself. And that's really where this song came from. It was just, it's so raw as to how I was really feeling.
Mm-hmm. It comes across
and
that
you
way.
can feel it.
So raw that I almost didn't sing it in front of anybody because it was too close.
Personal.
It was too personal.
Yeah.
And when I sang it, like people, no matter where I go, they are crying.
It touches them.
And they say, how did you know that's how I felt? How did you know I said those exact words? I had people that were fixing to commit suicide, people that had just tried to commit suicide, people that had given up on all kinds of things, and they just said, I'm not going to do this. I'm going to do whatever the devil's telling me to do, I'm going to do the opposite.
There you go.
And so they said, and it is just, I don't even know how to explain it.
It's a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful song, and I'm glad we're playing it on our station.
Yes, ma'am.
I mean, you'd be surprised how many people. I'm glad we got to play it this morning because it's a different audience that listens in the mornings as it does on Sunday. So this way we were able to, and that's why I didn't tell her to stop because I wanted to hear it all the way.
I know, that's what I kept looking at you.
And I was listening to it. I wanted to hear it all the way to the end, and so
it's beautiful.
It's beautiful.
And I can't imagine anybody else singing it, Amber. Your voice.
No,
you have the passion in it because it's personal to you.
Right. It is. It's very personal.
Yeah.
And you go through life, and which I won't go to all details, but we made our recording in August, and in October we were sitting on the couch, and my husband, we were just sitting there and told the kids to go brush their teeth before they went to bed. And I just kind of went over there and jabbed him in his side because he's really ticklish. And, he grabs my hands to try and stop me from tickling him. And he just starts going into a seizure. And just fell out on the floor into a seizure. And I called, we live out in the middle of nowhere.
Right.
And so I called my sister-in-law. She lives right down the road. She's a nurse. And so she came in and, he was over there seizing like tonic-clonic, seizures, and it was horrible. Like the kids are screaming and crying, and my mom, dad's gone, and he just stops all of a sudden. She can't find his pulse, and I mean it was just horrible. And we had just done this, and with the album and all, and so it's just it was just crazy. In which we got him to the hospital and stuff. We don't know why he's having seizures. Just to give you a brief rundown, he's had hundreds since then.
Oh, no.
Ran all kinds of tests, done all kinds of medicine. Nothing has helped. Nothing. Everything's normal. Everything shows up normal. And
you don't have seizures. That's not normal.
Right. Well, it's not epilepsy. He doesn't have cancer. No degeneration of the brain cells, and everything's normal. I mean, everything is normal. And so, we got our CD in December, and we had to go for some more testing in January. And I said, it's just like God to give you a song before you really needed it.
Yeah.
You thought you needed it then, but then
you really needed it
because you can't quit.
That's right.
When things happen and you don't know why, and we don't know why he's having seizures right now. We don't know what the answer is. We don't know. We don't know if the Lord's doing it to help us, be closer to him through the storm, or if he's given him seizures to touch another life, to be able to reach them. We don't know, but we know we can't give up.
No.
We know we can't quit.
That's
and you
right.
got to stay faithful through the storm.
And there's an answer out there somewhere. There's an answer out there.
Yeah.
What are some of the? What's another song on your CD that you like? What's your favorite?
Well,
besides that one.
Well, it's another slow song.
That's okay.
But it's called "He Turned His Back on Me."
Oh.
And my pastor preached a message when we first started going to church over there. He preached a message about one of his friends that turned his back on him. And we've all been there.
Yeah, oh yeah.
We've all had someone turn their back on us. And he was just talking about wounds and scars. And when you have a scar on your body, you can remember what happened with that. And so he said, when you see scars, you see victory. Because you didn't die through that.
You came through it.
So there's victory in scars.
And so you wrote this song.
And so this is called "He Turned His Back on Me," based on
you want to try it?
On the friend that
got it
that turned his back on my pastor.
Is there anyone out there with this story? Can anyone testify its truth? You may have had a friend, a loved one, who knew they'd always see you through. But it seemed like in your darkest hour, when you didn't know what to do, instead of standing by your side, they turned their backs on you. Can I tell you about a friend of mine who turned his back on me in my darkest time? Stuck in a battle I could never win, victory nowhere in sight, and then Jesus turned his back on me. Jesus turned his back on me to show the stripes he took for me, the blood he shed on Calvary, the nails ran through his hands and feet, the crown, the spear, the rugged tree, those scars were for my victory. Thank God he turned his back on me. took for you. The blood he shed on Calvary, the nails ran through his hands and feet, the crown, the spear, the rugged tree, those scars before your victory. Thank God he turned his back on me. There's victory in the scars, there's victory in the name, there's victory in the blood, and I'll never be the same. There's victory in the scars, there's victory in the name, there's victory in the blood, and I'll never be the same. There's victory in the scars, there's victory in the name, there's victory in the blood, and I'll never be the same since he turned his back on me. He turned his back on me to show the stripes he took for me. The blood he shed on Calvary, the nails ran.
Wow. What does your pastor say when he hears that song? And that he was the inspiration for that song?
Well, it's real humbling, I guess, that the Lord gave you something that turned into that.
Yes.
He just, which he preached it years before I actually wrote the song, but when he preached it, that was just a time where there was lots of wounds that had happened at that time, and so I always thought about that. When something would happen, I would think about that. I'd be like, "There's victory there. It's going to be okay," And so,
Woman, you got some stories to tell.
I can talk all day probably.
Well,
But-
all right. If somebody wants a copy of your CD, how would they go about getting it?
Okay, well, they can download it on Amazon, iTunes, it's on Spotify, it's on all your major download networks. Or I'm on AmberHayesOnline.com or Amber Hayes Online on Facebook. And if you want a copy, you can send a check or money order to P.O. Box 181 in Eudora, Arkansas, 71640. And I'll send that out to you.
Well, how much are they?
They're $15.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's what most of them
They're
are.
$15, but they're $10 on download.
Oh, okay.
All right. Wow. Very powerful things. Both those songs are just beautiful.
Well, they are, and they're
Touching.
timely.
Uh-huh.
They're timely. They won't be outdated. Let me put it like that. Anytime.
I have quite a few people that they buy a CD and then they talk to somebody that's going through something and they'll go, "You need this more than I do," and they'll give them my CD, and then call me and say, "Hey, I need one of your CDs." So I gave mine away, and or they'll say, "Hey, I need 3 CDs. I got some people I want to give one to," or "I need 3," and they'll just. So I have one lady. She leaves me a note in the box. "Hey, I need 2 more CDs," or they'll call me, or me to, They said that
That's very sweet.
it's like a ministry.
It is.
And,
Exactly.
And it's like each one of your songs has its own sermon or something.
They do.
to it.
You definitely get something from each one of them.
Well, Amber, thank you for coming.
I appreciate it.
We enjoyed it.
It's
and
been amazing to listen to your stories, and we'll have to have you back.
Okay.
And if you want a copy again of Amber's CD, what's the name of it? Just Amber? Breakthrough is the name of it. Amber Hayes, Hayes. And you can get in touch with her online or whatever. You can find her.
And
if
I
not,
have the information here.
okay, and give us a call here at the station, and we'll
There
put
is
you in
a country
touch.
music star named Amber Hayes.
This is
Right.
a
So
different.
try Amber Hayes online or
Yeah.
Amber Hayes Breakthrough, and that'll put you straight to me.
There you
Okay.
go. All right. Well, do you have a thought for the day? Kind of hard after all that.
I do. It's faith is not without worry or care, but faith is fear that has said a prayer.
Thank you.
Oh, I like it. Say it again.
Faith is not without worry or care, but faith is fear that has said a prayer.
Wow. Well, on that note, this is Miss Irene on behalf of Amber Hayes.
And this is Candy, and you've been listening to The Mighty Mess on KWCL-FM 96.7 on your radio dial. Oak Grove, Lake Providence, Louisiana, serving the Delta area. KWCL radio time is 29 minutes before 9 o'clock as we resume your regularly scheduled broadcast day. Have a good one. Stay safe out there. God bless America.